Okay, you all, I am going to show you what I've been kind of working on. I want to add a couple of designs to Etsy, of course, because it's time for Halloween. Um, and people start adding designs for back to school and Halloween around the same time. We're in August, so of course, back to school starts for most places this month. But I'm going to focus on Halloween because sales really kick up a notch around this time for Halloween themed items. What I'm working on are going to be greeting cards. So I'm going to use Chat GPT and Midjourney for this instance of creating Halloween themed designs. So what I would like to do is I'm going to enter a prompt here into Chat GPT, and here is the prompt. And I have create a list of 20 whimsical and quirky Halloween themed designs for greeting cards. So I do greeting cards just because I feel like the background and everything else that it's going to generate from the image is going to be prominent, and it's going to focus on a few key elements. And you can always tweak these if you want to make stickers or if you want to make some other type of design. You can change the prompt to specifically what you're going to be creating. So for this, I'm going to focus on greeting cards. Okay, so it's going to give me this list of prompts, and what you want to do is go into Midjourney. Some people use Bing to create images. You have Ideogram, Kittle. So whichever AI image creator you're using, you just want to enter the prompt, and you can try it a couple of ways to see what comes up. So I'm just going to copy and paste, and I have it set to a portrait style setting when I generate the images. So I'm just going to remove that, and then I'm going to put quirky design Halloween theme on the end, and let's see what it comes up with. I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste a couple of these. I'm going to add quirky design or Halloween theme behind each one just so it knows kind of what I'm going for. And it takes me a while to get used to typing on this keyboard. I'm on my desktop. I usually use my laptop, but I wanted to be able to share my screen and it be a larger screen. So it takes me a little bit to adjust. What? Okay. I didn't mean to copy that. Like I said, it takes me a minute to adjust typing on this other keyboard. So forgive me for all of those corrections. All right, so I'm just going to do this next one, and then we're going to go look at what we have, and I'm going to pick out which ones I like, and then I may do variations of those images if I like them to generate additional ones. So I'm just going to see here shortly. All right, so let me see what I have. Okay, so this is the first one. And let's go to organize or create. Okay, so right here we have this one, this one. I don't like whatever that would be. I guess I don't know. I do like that. I do like this. It's kind of like scary but sassy. So I like that. That's okay. No, this is funny. Um, this is cute, but this hand looks a little distorted. Mm-mm. Maybe. No. Kind of. And I do like that. Yes. Yes. Yes, but that bottom lip looks a little kind of crazy. So let me do, we're gonna go through and click on the ones I like and do a variation of those. I'll do this one. Let me skip that. I do like this. Yes. Yes. So I really like all of these. Let me see if I do this, if it'll fix her lip. Hopefully it'll generate something without the crazy looking lip. So let me just scroll through quickly because I don't want to make this video too long. I don't know if I like this because of the legs missing. Yeah. Yes, I do like that one. Yes. Yes. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. So as you can see, we have several different image generations to go with. And it did give me something without that burnt looking bottom lip. So, but the extra hand, Okay. So right here, I do have a couple of images to play with. So if I were to create these or turn these into greeting cards, I'm just going to go into Canva and let me do, let me do a folded greeting card. Folded card. And most of the time I do a 10 by 7. Right, and the image needs to go on the right hand side. So let's see, let me go back over here and I'm just gonna pick the hand. She has an extra hand, set of hands. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna download this one. This one. Yes, that one. And let me see, one of the ghost fingernails. Yeah, this one. Let's see. I'm going to go with the first one. Okay. So just a couple of options to upload into Canva. So as you can see, I've been working on several designs that I've pulled in earlier. We're going to go with this. Let me see. Now, where are the other ones? This one. I should have thought about that when I was pulling them in, that I already had some so I wouldn't have to find them. Okay, here we go. So let me upload this. And we're gonna stretch this to fill out the space for the card. And because sometimes when you print your cards and you have to fold them, because it can be kind of hard if you're self-printing to make sure that they're folded exact to size. I do a little bit of excess onto the other side of the card. That way, if the margin is off by just a little bit, you do have that wiggle room for card printing. I don't know what I did. And as I told you, I'm used to being on my laptop, so okay, so let me zoom this out. Yikes. All right, y'all. I guess I'm gonna just have to work with this because I don't know what happened. View. I don't know. All right. Yikes. Now I really don't know. Okay, so let's go with this one and pull it into here. Let's stretch the design to maximize the space and pull it over slightly. All right, so I have 2 cards and page 3. I like the ghost on the skateboard. All right, so if you were printing these yourself, you would be using, if you're printing greeting cards, your paper of choice, cardstock. And for me, I use premium cardstock paper. Sometimes I try to stick with 110 pounds or higher. And brand preference, I typically get Hammermill cardstock. I've used in a Crunch Astros from Walmart. But whichever is more affordable is what I'm going to go with. And depending on my need, like if I run out of paper for printing and I need something right away, then I'll use, of course, a different brand. But Hammermill 110 pound premium cardstock white is what I typically print on for home printing. Now, if you are going to be printing in bulk, of course, you could order these through a printing company. But I typically print my orders at home that I generate. So I'm just going to finish importing these images into the pages, and then I'll have a set of cards to print. And what I would do when I print this is typically I print on a inkjet printer for cardstock. And That's because I do have a laser printer, but sometimes I've actually been through two laser printers in the last 2 years because laser printers are a little funny on paper thickness, unless, of course, you get something that is very substantial as far as cost wise that is suitable for printing thicker paper. But because I've had two get jammed, one actually started smoking because the paper was rolled in it and it kept trying to spin through. So I had to trash that because it messed the printer up entirely. And then the other, I noticed it kind of wears out the components on the interior of the printer, and the cost of repairing that was a little bit over half of the printer cost. So it was just almost like I should get a new printer. So I'll stick to printing these via inkjet printing because laser printers are not cheap. And for printing, I use the Epson Eco Tank. I do want to get a Canon Mega Tank, but I don't have space, and that's another investment when I already have three printers. I have a laser printer, the Eco Tank printer, and then a sublimation printer. So unless things take off substantially to where I get a significant order of cards or it's worth me getting that, I'm not going to buy that probably until next year when I exhaust or I save the money up because I just don't want to, jump out, get that, and then I'm not getting the money into the business that I want to pay for something because I don't even know the cost of it. I've just seen the print quality, and I do like Canon printers. I've had several Canon printers, so I might be a little biased, but the Epson Eco Tank gets the job done. Okay, so I have my cards. If you were going to print these, then you would go to share. And I have no idea what's happening. You would go to share and it would pop up an option to download these. And you would choose your download quality. I typically pick either PNG and I download those and then I print them. You can flatten the images to print and they will have markings on the print, and those are indicators of your cut lines because when you're printing from home you do need to cut these yourself to size because your paper is going to be 8.5 by 11, so you will have to trim margins, etc. So typically you can flatten them and also select to have the print margins on there for cutting. I've printed so many cards and I have a cutter. I have a guillotine to where I kind of pretty much am able to print without those cut lines. And of course, the printing itself is going to be printing within the margins of the 10 by 7, which breaks down to a 5 or 7 by 5 card when folded. So that's it. That's the quick tutorial. As you can see, ChatGPT definitely gave image options for generating that I personally wouldn't have thought of, a witch on her cell phone. In either case, one looking bothered and one very focused on her cell phone. So I do like the image options that it gave me to generate. So I'm going to leave you guys on that note, and I will upload another video this week, actually showing a couple of the cards that I printed, and then I'll fold them, and I'm going to be adding them to my site. A few of them may already be added, but I just wanted to give you a little inside peek of the prompts being generated using ChatGPT and then actually importing them into Canva and adding them to the folded card template. So I'm signing off, you guys. Thank you for tuning in.